little webinar. The first page is about what you will learn in this webinar. It's all about the lower back. So what we will do is to talk about the 7 worst mistakes in the first big half chunk of that webinar. And after, on the second part, we'll talk about 10 easy and powerful strategy. There's actually strategies, there's more than one, that will help you so you can start changing now. So to get going, I will do a little intro here, tell you who I am and where I'm coming from. I'm an offline massage therapist turned online posture guide, and I have been helping people to get out of pain for quite a while now. Since 2009 is when I've started professionally. I've worked with thousands of people offline in my studio, or when I used to work in other studio before, and I've already helped quite a bit of people online, about hundreds of people online. But all of that started because in the first place, I was in pain myself. When I was about 14 years old, I had a bad fall on my lower back. And what happened is from there on, I had a succession of pain that really were difficult for me. And I really started my motivation from here. So how is that benefiting you? Well, my goal now is actually to get people from pain to movement, because I've been in pain for 2 decades now, chronic pain for 2 decades, on and off. And I've studied as much as I could to get out of pain. It was really important for me to share that with other people because it took me, like I said, 2 decades to get out of pain myself, and to not necessarily just get out of pain, but to figure out ways to bounce back really fast. So to bounce back really fast was really the biggest challenge I had. But how can I help you get from pain to movement? Well, the 3 simple things that I'm gonna work on is the movement, the body awareness, and concept shifts. So let's dig into it. Oh, here's my little guy on top left. So I want to define a little bit what pain is. There are 3 definitions I want to get into it. Here's the definition of pain according to pain science. So for them, it's the pain is in our brain, and it's not about posture. So basically, the connection between the brain and nervous system is what makes the big difference. And if you're able to release a little bit, separate that connection, you can help people with pain. That's their definition. In my field, in massage, and specifically in orthopedic massage and structural massage, their definition is either disease, physical trauma, emotional trauma, or kinesthetic kink create pain. And for us massage therapists, the kinesthetic kink is what really it's all about. And what it means is simply you have something stuck, and it doesn't move, and it hurts. But my definition is about going through understanding. So I want to define it, define where the pain is, so we can understand how to address it. Hope that makes sense. So this webinar is in 4 parts, 7 worst mistakes, to bring some light on what are the problems, and 10 easy strategies to get some sense of direction, a Q&A, and at the end, you have a bonus. That's why I was a bit late. I did just the bonus right now. All right, so forgive my French English writing to start with. The worst 7 mistakes. So mistake number 1, the worst thing that people can do is to be static through a long period of time. It's not so much just sitting, it's being static. You've probably heard some people mentioning that sitting is the new smoking. If you this is really, after sitting for half an hour, the connection between the brain and the legs shuts down, and after 2 hours, the way you burn fat just completely not work anymore. So sitting is really not good stuff, but static dries the well of health. What I mean by that is by being static, your joint really don't get what they need, and we're gonna get into what they need just right after. So act like a robot, it's not good. Just leave that to technology. Mistake number 2, worst mistake number 2, it's body kinks. Something isn't moving. So this is not necessarily a mistake that you do, but it's something that happens. A mistake that happens within your body. Kinesthetic kink is what I just mentioned. Is when something doesn't move. It doesn't move the way it's supposed to, or it just doesn't move at all. You have, for that webinar, we pay attention to the hip and lower back really specifically. And when something doesn't move in the lower back, things above and below have to work harder, and this is not good for them. So the body is in a bind and compensate, because your body can adapt. And it's kind of like a good and a bad thing at the same time. It's adapting, so it's not ideal because they adapt and compensate. But that's going to help us when we think about the 10 strategies to get us in pain, out of pain. So mistake number 3, diet habits are sometimes weakening us. No one wants to hear about not getting their sugar or their coffee cup, or taking something away from them. And trust me, I'm the first day. I'm French, so most of our diet is coffee, cheese, baguette, and a lot of pastries. So, but it's time to kind of make a change. It's not, I don't want you to become the next fanatic vegan or paleo diet expert. So there's typo here, not just yet. I don't want you to get there, but I want you to think about the big 5 no's. The big 5 no's are coffee, alcohol, sugar, cereal, and dairy. So if you take one of those out, if you take 2 of those out, you're getting good. If you take 3 or 4, you're getting great. If you take 5 out, your body is bouncing like Tigger in Winnie the Pooh. It's really bouncing super fast. I'm not a nutritionist yet. I'm studying to become one. But each one of those does something to you. For example, the body, it's like putting a car on nitro. You can have a little bit of booster, but eventually it's not something you can drive on the freeway for days on with that nitro. For the alcohol, well, the alcohol sluggish makes your stomach sluggish, and it's not perfect because you don't get all the energy you need from the food you get. The sugar, there's some cool studies showing how sugar is creating a lot of dependency, and that's a problem. But also, we actually don't really need it. It's giving us a boost of energy really quick, but it's not ideal for the long term. Cereal. Some cereal are better than others. Some people will tell you there's some gluten in 13 to 15 of them, and that is difficult for the body to associate, and it creates some back effect. But if you just take a break from it for a little bit, you will give a booster to your body. And for the dairy, well, the dairy is not completely bad. In the new diet principle, for example, from Yale, the triangle of food, they leave it out, or they leave it as a maybe. The molecule of protein from the dairy, lactose, is actually really big for our body, and it slows down our digestive system. I know it was boring, but I wanted to mention it a bit. Mistake number 4, our health should be proactive concern rather than a reactive one. So this is the big mindset shift. This is what people need to start talking about and thinking about more and more. Some of us will see themselves here, and that's okay. I was one of them. I was at the beginning, when I was a young kid, I was not paying attention to my diet, and I changed that. So I was not being proactive, I was being reactive. I feel really weak, so I'm gonna change my diet. So we go to the doctor when we're in pain. That's being reactive. Sometimes we do need to do that, though. If you have a car accident or something like that, there's no way to be 100% perfect and proactive yet. Maybe it will come one day. But we don't go to the doctor to keep us healthy, but that would be proactive. So in the other event where you don't have a car accident, being proactive will mean you're gonna go see your doctor for some checkup. You may be gonna see a nutritionist, see a massage therapist for to help you with the kink at first, but after then you'll become proactive and just help the the body with the flow. Mistake number 5, watch your movement diet. So this is another diet. It's not a series of repetitive movements. It's you want a variety of movement. What I mean by that is, if you take the example below, at first you can do something kind of black and white. If you sit then stand, you can see where it's the opposite of the movement. If you're always bending forward, let's say to pick up things on the floor, or if your furniture are low and you need to pick up the dishes or something like that, then maybe you could switch and put some of the dishes up high, so that then you bend forward but reach high and increase a little bit your movement diet. Another one would be eventually to bring some colors and contrast, and to do some of the position I will show you at the end in the bonus. Mistake number 6. I hope I'm not rushing too much through that, or it's not too slow or too fast for you. I'm trying to still figure out actually the chat box in the meantime, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time with that. But keep in mind, I will be sending you some email at the end and see maybe how you liked it, how I can change a few things. So I'll be looking forward to that. Misconceptions. So how do we heal? This is a big one. I hear a lot about people thinking like wrong about that. So it's not that we, it's not with always with appeal. So this one is a little bit shaky. I'm gonna put a disclaimer. Medicine does have its place after all. So you do want to check with your doctor first. Then you want to be a little bit of proactive, like we mentioned before, and do some blood tests and check your diet and food movement. But healing takes time, and check when you cut yourself, for example. It takes about 2 to 4 weeks. You can, next time, hopefully it will be a smaller cut. You can check it out and see how long it takes for the body to rebuild that that little cut. And it might take a little bit of time, and sometimes we take that for granted. But the 2 biggest things that helps us with healing is sleep and exercise. I will put another disclaimer here with the word exercise. I put it here because we understand all that word, but I will switch it a little bit to the word movement. Next is, this was an easy one. The last one of the 7 mistakes is where you're putting your line of defense. So what I mean by a line of defense, you'll see just after, but we put our line of defense usually at the end. So what are the line of defense? I call that my toolbox. So doctor checkup, foam roller, arnica, stretch, rest, massage, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, going on a walk. All of that for me is our line of defense. It's very much following the concept of being proactive, and in the future, I want you to change that. I want you to put that line of defense, to put it at the beginning. So first, you're gonna deal with pain, and we're gonna find some ways in the next series with the 10 ways to improve your health, your lower back health and strength. But first, I want you to keep it in mind. When you get better, you need to switch that and put a big mindset shift. You need to put your information, your toolbox, being proactive, all of that needs to be done forward, not at the end. It needs to be done before, okay? So definition of posture. Is posture BS? I had a post lately on someone who said, oh, I sit a lot, and what can I do to help me? And I answered back, well, you need to watch out your posture and do some movement. And someone answered back and said, like, posture was BS. And I can see where she's coming from. But, well, what is posture? It is not the posture definition as a static position. You see a lot of blog out there on posture, and you see a picture of how it looks like to sit properly, how it looks like to run properly, everything in just a picture. And that's static. And then we think, oh, this is what I need to look like. But like in the pictures of proper posture, the first worst mistake, remember, was being static. Rather, for me, the definition of posture is the one of an attitude toward an event or a situation. How you adapt is more posture for me. So let's get now in the 10 easy strategies that will help you get out of pain and to movement. The first one, I will not say enough. That's why I've written it quite a bit. I've written move, move, move. Motion is lotion. Dr. Eric Dalton, one of my mentors, likes to repeat that, and it makes sense. It's easy to remember, and you can really connect with that. That's why you don't want to be static, because if you're static, remember I said you were drying the well of your health. By drying the well of your health, what I meant by that is that when the joint is not moving, it gets dry, and then instead of being able to move properly, it gets stuck. And long down the road, 10, 20 years down the road, that joint can fuse if nothing is done. Not good. So move again. I love it really much. That's my first easy strategy, but this is very important. If you don't know what I mean by moving, by the way, follow a toddler or a dog for an hour, and you will see what it means to move. You don't have to, if you do not have a toddler or a dog, you do not have to stalk. You can maybe borrow one of your kids' neighbor for an hour if she's okay with that, or the dog, or go to the dog's beach. But really pay attention to how animals are when we're young, the way we move, because that's really a natural flow. Strategies number 2, put your weight on the heels. So try it now. Even if you're sitting or standing, you push on your heels, and you will see there's a big thing that happens, that you can actually get straighter on your chair. If you're laying down on a couch, you push the couch down the floor, down the couch, and it saves your lower back muscle and activate the glutes. This is a very easy way to counterbalance our habit. Most of the time, and due to the shoes, we lean forward, right? So this will be a great way to lean back. Try it on the chair or standing. If you're on the chair right now, you can stand for a moment. But this will be a great way to save you back. Strategy is number 3, breathe with the chest. So what do I mean by that? How breathing with the chest can help your lower back? Well, when you do belly breathing, it makes your antagonist muscle weaker. The antagonist muscle, by the way, is the butt. It will help the neck too, so it's a bonus. But by breathing with the chest, then you can start tucking in your belly. And when you tuck in your belly, then you actually have the antagonist of the butt muscle. The butt muscle is like your weight on a crane. It's that counterweight on the crane, and if the crane doesn't have that counterweight, your crane falls forward. So if you have your belly tucked in, then you're in a better shape. Strategies number 4, take breaks. Not really, actually. It's not so much about taking breaks. It's about change the way you work altogether. If you still work, if you're retired, then you have a little bit been working on that already. But if you're working, taking breaks is not enough. You need to completely change the way you move at work. So put it on the HR and ask them how they can help you. Do a stand-up desk and have a chair still on the side, adaptable stand-up desk, or be your own ergonomist and look online for some options. Change your house around, change your workplace around. And if you need to have some more focus, then brainwave technology and rocking are better than just being static in a chair anyway. Strategies number 5, listen. This one is often completely forgotten. But listen means zone inside your body. When we work, we have a tendency to look at what we're doing. Right now, I'm looking at the screen as I'm reading those strategies slides to you, right? But I'm still moving around. I'm still paying attention to what my body's telling me. I'm switching side. When I cross my leg, I cross with my ankle, not my knee. And I'm going into a C shape to a U shape with my back. So listen to your body. Pain is when your body is screaming. So if you haven't listened before, then you will pay attention, right? But then your body went through counseling, hopefully, and you'll be listening to. So strategies number 5, go for a walk and not a marathon. A lot of the people I've seen online and offline are what we call in my field weekend warriors. And the weekend warriors are a breed in expansion. They are working and sitting for hours at a time, and then on the weekend they just go and beat the heck out of their body by doing too much. And their recovery period is when they come back and sit at a desk. So it's actually not good at all. So just take the time, to get with your body, unwind, and do it easy. A nice walk or a hike, pay attention, take you a binocular and look for rainbows and unicorns and mushrooms, whatever helps you slow down. Strategy number 7, no pain equal gain. So some of you who know me know about the no pain, no gain rant that I have quite a bit often. The old saying, right? No pain, no gain. It's a slippery slope. There's some edge to it, but as a rule of thumb, it's like it's exactly like putting your weight on your heel rather than your toes. If you have been spending a lot of time on your toes, you want to be on your heel. If you've been spending a lot of time thinking no pain, no gain, try no pain equal gain. Your nervous system will disagree with the no pain, no gain, but it will be very happy with a no pain equal gain. So be comfortable in your movement, and if you hurt when you move, then stop. Number 8, go through the motion. Be aware of each motion, even simple ones like walking. So this is a good one, and you can see my body in the background here making a big appearance, looking at you with that one. The idea here is the way we move is the way we've learned when we were a kid, and I want you to relearn it. So you need to relearn how to move. Like if you've been on a bicycle, you know how to do the bicycle. We never get it out, but do you know how to do it differently? This is exactly what I mean. You need to scratch your head a little bit, figure out how to do it differently. Number 9, transition matter. This is an easy one to implement. It's just slowing down, not overall, but in transition position. So between sitting and standing, so let's say if you're at your desk and you've been sitting for 2-3 hours, or if you've been driving, some of my clients used to drive 5, 6, 7 hours a day for decades. But when you compound that with standing up fast and asking your muscle that were for hours at a time, not moving. Okay. So same thing from standing to walking. So if you are getting off your desk, for example, you sit, you stand, you take a deep breath with the chest, you bring your weight on your heel, and then you start walking. So pause in between. Yeah, it's really okay actually to pause in between. We think we have to rush, but we don't. And finally, the number 10 strategy is to get some pamper. So by that, I mean be proactive, really. We talked about reactive versus proactive in the worst mistakes. This one is really a big one. People who are doing some massage, acupuncture, yoga, or practicing yoga, tai chi, qigong, it's really beneficial for you. And you can make it part of your budget forward rather than backward. What I mean by that is if you do not do that proactively, and you can do most of those at home, you can learn self-massage. Acupuncture, I don't recommend to learn it. It's a little bit more technical. Yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, there's tons of great videos on YouTube. You can definitely do that for a low budget, or you can take some lessons one-on-one with people once in a while to know what would be good specifically for you. But paying it backward would mean, let's say 10, 20 years from now, you haven't done anything, or you know some of your friends like that, or you have been there, and you're in excruciating pain. Then going to see doctors, surgeon, having surgery, maybe having days off your vacation because you're in too much pain. It's something you pay in a sense. Maybe it's not money, maybe it's just mindset, but it's difficult. So now what? So it's all very nice and all, what I did share with you, right? Hopefully. Remember, 80% of the American population will experience chronic pain in their lifespan. So it's a lot of people, bogus. So, and my goal is to help make it zero. I have a no suffering policy, and my big goal is to help 100 million people. I really want to make that place a better place, and the reason why I will talk about it later, but how can we do that? We can start acting now. So as you were sitting at your desk, I asked you to push on your heel, and you can turn on and off that position. So do it now. Don't wait until the end of that webinar, that awesome webinar, hopefully. You're in your chair right now. You can move around in your chair. Don't be static. Don't be a robot. Take some deep breath with your chest. It all sounds so simple, but yet again, I kid you not, it truly works. All those little things makes a huge difference. They do make a huge difference. I have led it myself with, and I've led it with thousands of clients over my career. But why? Why would we do that? I would approach here your motivation, because I need to get you motivated to do that. It's not just going to happen by itself. I believe that if you are one on this webinar right now, it's because you want to make a change, or because you know me and you want to see how it goes. And thank you both type of person here. I thank you all for coming in. You don't want to be hurting if you don't need to. That's something I do believe. I don't think we like pain, and I think we go away from it. And I think you want to live your life fully with an open body and mind. For the mind part, I'm not going to go into the woo-woo section here, but what I mean by open mind is if your body hurts, it takes a lot of mental energy to just decide if you're going to go to the restaurant or go see a friend. I had one of my clients, she was thinking, I'm not sure I'm going to go dinner with my friend tonight. I said, why? She bothers you? I said, no, I love her, but I don't know if my body will actually let me. So think about that. If you ever had that thought, this is why you need to be proactive, keep moving. And the big why, I've seen countless times, a better body is a better life. I have a client, Linda. She was in the 30 years of daily chronic pain. 30 years. That was insane. She tried it all. She tried even massage. But when we worked together, she managed to be in pain every 2.5 months, and it was mild, and she could handle it. And what happened? She changed her life. She took a raise. She knew she could challenge herself. Another person I've been working, Vicky Fitch, for some of you might know her. She's an online presence, and she's actually a direct sale marketing. But she had a big injury. She fell off a stage, and she had multiple disc bulge from that. It was really brutal. But now she's just doing a great amount of work because her body let her. And there's so many more of my clients who did that. So when people feel better, the world is simply a better place for you, and you can make it your own. That's why I want to help out all those people. I want you to make the world a better place your way. Hopefully it'll be good. How the well, so this is the bonus technique that can change your lower back strength. That's why I was a little bit late on the broadcast. That's why I didn't take a chance to figure out how to access my chat box, and I'll figure it out after. But because you are on this webinar, and if you already knew everything I said, I added that bonus, and I implemented. And oh yeah, if you already implemented all the stuff I just mentioned for the past year. So this is your bonus. First is tracing. So tracing, you can see my heel on my knee pretty much here, and you will lay down on the floor like that, and you will trace the top of your leg with the heel with the other side's foot. It's just tracing. Your heel is tracing the top of your leg. So if you had a marker, you will see your shin, knee, and quads with a black line traced by the heel. That's a really good exercise to trace up and down, and it strengthens greatly muscle, helping the lower back. Number 2 is the cat and cow wiggle their tail. So if you do yoga, this is a variation of the cat and the cow, and there's another one called the wiggle of the tail. You can see on the picture to the left, my back is a bit more rounded, and I'm looking at my tail. And you can do that both sides, the movement on both sides. And after on the right, I'm more into a cat position. So I arch my back, and same thing, I'm gonna look at my tail. And I go back and forth and back and forth. And this picture was taken in my living room. That's why I blurred it all, because the kids have all the decoration here. It's a beautiful, healthy mess. The lazy pigeon. Same thing, this is a variation on yoga, and it helps a ton the lower back, especially when your lower back is being sensitive, and really hurts. So you can see on the picture that my leg is crossed, and I'm using my hands as a push-up to help. You can go lower as if you were to do a push-up in that position, actually. Or you can do that position even with the back leg. I'm on my knee, but you can do it straight on the bed or on the couch. The piano squat. So if you do a squat, or if doing a squat hurts too much, then you'll go into that position. It's a lower back opener with a side-to-side warming up. As if you were to play the piano, you go from right to left to right to left. My fingers will be on the keyboard, and there will be a semicircle around my feet. You will just play the piano like that. You can do it from a sitting position or a pure swagger squat position, and you can see some video on my YouTube on that. And you can just stay on the wall. So that my butt is pushing against the wall, my sacrum bone, the last bone, is pushing against the wall, and I start straight, pushing, my feet are away from the wall, and then I will lean forward. This is a tricky one to understand, but it's so worth it. So give it some thought. Push your butt against the chair, for example, being up straight. And once you pin that butt against the chair, you lean forward, and you can see the butt wants to roll, but you prevent that, and it will help decompress that lower back. All right, so this is a tricky one, because now we're supposed to have some Q&A, but I didn't figure out how to do the Q&A part. So if you have questions, what I will do, I will email the people who are here today, or you can contact me and email me. And if you have any kind of question, I would love to answer it. At the end, I will try to come out of that window. You know, there's a few slides again, and see if I can figure it out, how to get into the Q&A with you. I really want to do that. But to recap, we looked at the 7 worst mistakes, and how we think and how we do or don't do is like the big sum up of it. On the 10 healthiest strategies, the biggest one, if you only remember one, is move. Move, move, move. Move like there's no tomorrow. Move like a toddler. Move your body in all directions. This is really important. To conclude, I really want to thank you for joining today. There's a few other slides where I'm going to talk a little bit of some of my program. You don't have to stay on. I was really doing that webinar today to practice webinar with you to get you as much information as I could. And I want to thank you for being here. So stay mindful and aware, and at least a minute here and there. You don't have to be always thinking about that. But if I can change 1 minute of your day today, I'm really happy I did it. If you want to follow me, I got more for you. If you want to work specifically with me, you can just send me an email at thrive2begreat@gmail.com, and I answer all my emails, so I will get in touch with you. If you want to get more information, there's more webinar coming up. I have, I think, 17 webinar coming up, 3 in that the next couple of weeks coming up. I will do a replay of this one, and I will do another one on the neck. So follow me, and if you want to get on the waiting list for my upcoming course, just go on the perrytrainer.com, and you will see there's a way to go sign for the upcoming course. You can all go through the 5-day challenge. It's a powerful and simple video challenge. There's 5 videos, 1 coming every day. The videos are 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes, and they will really help you get more in shape, more up, and get from pain to movement. So this was my little guy that followed us all day long. I don't know if you found all of them. There were 5 or 6 in it. But remember to move your body, to open your joints. Stay comfortable when you do. That's the no pain, no gain. And have a great, great day.